TM everyone. Let me find that. Uh, doesn't come to my screen yet. I'm probably to the screen now. So like I'm just in my topic. Yeah, we're not live yet, but we're probably live on YouTube now. So we put us live on other platforms too. Minutes. So it's Quasar Quarry day one. Okay, since I'm definitely on this house. Everything can chat. I'm setting this up manually. I'm broadcasting from custom platform. So I'm going to set everything up manually. Uh, we're going to open up this soon. And then go live on X also. Really, I'm most likely live on it also. Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, but live on X to make it possible at least. Yeah, okay, I'll make a post about okay, about it. Let me check. Filing somewhere. Yeah. Looks like we're live. I've been seeing one live for like 10 minutes now. Yes, pardon me. We'll start soon, soon enough. That's it. Alert. Yes, alert. So, okay, looks like we can start. Let me set this music. Aha. So let's see if I can start now. GM everyone. Uh, Welcome to the Anchor Founder. And today we'll be talking about, we're starting a series. It's a 5 day series on Quasar. What Quasar is a Solana program framework for writing efficient programs. It's like a beta anchor, something like that. It's like a big brother to anchor. And it does work very, it does it work very well. It's not currently in production. If you scroll down on the docs, you see on the installation guide, you see that Quasar is in beta, so there are no published credits related yet. Install from source by cloning the repository. So we'll be doing all of that now. First thing, what is Quasar about? Let's get back to yeah. It's like I said, it's very similar to Anchor if you're familiar with Anchor. Everything it's natural somewhat, but it's not directly a one-to-one clone of Anchor. There are a lot of things that just feels this are Anchor should have been, or this is okay. Cool. You will just you feel it natural to blend into to migrate your project into Quasar. And there are a lot of things that Quasar ships with, like the CU profile and frame graphs. Quasar is something like light SVM, but for Quasar, TypeScript and Rust client, they have a Go client and also Python. I think they have a Go and Python client, but those are not finally stable yet. But the stable ones are TypeScript and Rust currently. So, and can generate clients for Web3.js, Kit, and Rust. So if you are a big fan of Kit, that's what you did Web3.js V2. Quasar got you covered. So let's start from the selection. Okay, the important thing is programs are no STD by default. It means they are not using any of the standard library crates, the heavy standard library crates. So we're not using standard library crates. These are some of the things that Pinocchio also prides itself in. Pinocchio is a no, it's a zero copy, no STD environment. You could use STD in Pinocchio if you can, if you just want to, but by default, Quasar allows none of the standard library packages. Most of the libraries that you use, most of the packages that you use, you can just use it from core instead of STD. So by default, accounts are pointer cast, same thing as what's happening in Pinocchio, uh, directly from SVM into buffer with no deserialization. What that means is, how do I explain it? So there is an instruction. For every instruction, you have, okay, let's start with the basics of every instruction. If for every instruction, you probably have the program ID. The program ID, you have the accounts that are needed for that instruction, and you have the data of the instruction. And every entry point, usually anchor entry point, not every entry point. Anchor entry point does doesn't go to it. Doesn't go to it enough for a minute. Left align, uh, and I do left align at the same time. Just allow me to do that. Okay. That's how this is appealing, visually appealing. Or assuming it's visually appealing, even if it's not visually appealing. That's annoying. Okay. So we have the program ID, the account, and data that this instruction needs to execute. For all your accounts, the way Solana SDK handles it is it gets all your accounts when it comes into the entry point of the instruction. So this is the instruction. It's the instruction here. And instruction only allows you everything in bytes. So say a verb of UX, 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 UX. Uh, So this is basically how your data is passed now. It's just a long array of bytes. So once your account or program ID and data, so once your account gets to your entry point, it first thing it tries it copies it to a temporary let's say it copies it somewhere here. It copies it here. That's the arrow. Okay. Copies it here. Let's call it temporary copy. Copies it here temporarily to have its own copy of it. Then it now serializes and deserializes it when it's coming into your account. So it serializes it, gets a temporary copy, serializes it, and it now reads it. So once you have a temporary copy and do all of that, you now that answer. Okay. So your account comes to a temporary store before it now reads from that temporary store. So it's allocating space for all of this, right? It's allocating space for where it will copy all this stuff to before it starts reading from it and writing to it, right? So that's essentially how it's done. So that's one of the things that consumes that are very CU intensive on a program. That's why programs are expensive, are heavy. It's a program, but now with zero copy, it doesn't need to copy anything to the temporary stuff. It just gets a pointer for gets a pointer to where they are say pointer to the memory and the size, the length of the data. Just basically how okay, so it gets the pointer and the total length of the current thing is reading. So it just uses that to mostly mostly try to okay. So it gets a pointer and total length. So it knows where the instruction will start reading from and the talent of where it's so if you have an item that wants to read from an account, you can just get where does this account start from at what address and what's the total length of the account. So it just gets a pointer to it and just gets what it wants to work with at that moment. Instead of copying it somewhere, it just reads it from the SVM. Yeah. So that gives you a lot of gains on the entry point basically. So that's the first thing that it does with this. So accounts are pointer cached directly from the SVM input buffer with no visualization, no if allocation. It's not allocating storage for it because it's just reading the pointer and the length and no copy. It's not copying anything. So there are a lot of optimization that's going on under the hood to make this thing work well. So you write your program macro, your proc macro, procedural program macro, account macro, derive macro, just like account for right? Program accounts for the account constraint and derive accounts for account instructions. For instructions accounts rather. But generated code compiles down to near handwritten C efficiency. And we'll see what that looks like in a minute once we start writing the program. I'm just trying to cover the basics first. We can do like a vault today. Like we have to do a vault today. This Quasar. And we'll see how what that looks like. So install Quasar and set up directly. So because there are no published releases yet, you have to install from source like from the repo. So if you come to GitHub, yeah, let's do GitHub. Let's see, GitHub. How do I get to be ready? Quasar lang GitHub. This one is the front end framework. Let's go to Bluetooth. Blue shift, GitHub. Yeah, in blue shift, I should be able to see Quasar. What if this is not a blue shift? Ah, Solana, blue shift. Yeah, blue shift DG, not blue shift. So blue shift DG, Quasar. So that's what I'm looking for. Like, that's not blue shift, bro. So this is the blue shift that you see. This is see Quasar. Yeah. Okay. So you can just copy this to your terminal and just see whatever I want to post to the documents. Then git clone this. Then enter. So it will clone that for you. I already have that. You can call CD Quasar. So I can just git clone here, and I should be up to date. If you are actually like correctly, I don't think I'm up to date. Okay. So yeah, you have that. The next thing you do is inside that repo, inside I'm looking for the installation. I think install it, yes. Cargo install item part CLI. So once you are inside this repo, what you want to do is cargo install item part CLI. That means if you do the installation, if you install what is inside this CLI part here, the CLI folder here. So you can install the package inside of this globally for cargo. Just like installing a package that is not on Grace.io yet. And once you have this done, once you successfully installed it, you can now use it in your CLI like Quasar init my program. So let's do that one. Yeah. So yeah. Let me do Quasar init inside documents. Yeah, so let me go to Solana. CD Solana and Quasar init. That's the word again. Vault. Let's do hello. Init hello world first. Everybody loves hello world, right? Hello world. I'm going to be using the Solana. Let me pump this up. Okay. So I'm going to select the Solana toolchain. But if you check the docs, you should see installation. So, but you need to have Rust installed, obviously, and Solana CLI. So you would see um, there are different toolchains that you can use. You can use the Solana toolchain or you can use the upstream toolchain. But this one works. This one is very stable. This also works though, but I've actually only tested out the Solana toolchain. One uses the Solana CLI, no extra setup. This one targets BPF, EL, unknown none, with SBPF link. You get smaller binaries, but you're using nightly features, so those features are not stable yet. So let's just use switching Solana. So that's why we choose Solana switching. So and test language, I want to use Rust to test. Whether SVM or Mollusk, I want to use whether SVM because it's closer to like SVM, which I'm familiar with. And what other TypeScript language you want to use? Golang, Python, or TypeScript? TypeScript, thank you. And what do you want? Minimal, only instruction file, or the full state errors instruction folders? So I want the full one. Do you want to initialize Git and commit, or you want to skip totally? I will skip Git. So and it gets to work to create your repo for you. Yeah, how that is going on. Okay, it's done. So I'll just cd into Quasar hello world, then open that in my VS Code. And I'll bring that here. By the way, this BG is a book from Prince. We'll talking about that now. But it's a very good book for about Solana. I love the book, so I have it as my background. Yeah. So let's get back to what we're talking about. I can share the link to the book during the call, but let's get started first. Okay. Close products. Very good products now. So now it gives you um okay, configure attributes. These ones are just saying I don't want to use STD standard traits. This is not a test environment. Just basic configurations, right? And everything else is familiar, like familiar. You're familiar with what this is if you're coming from Anchor. Anchor Prelude using all the necessary general exports that are required. Then this is once you look at this, you think you're writing Anchor, yeah. So it looks it looks Anchorish. That was the aim is not to fight Anchor, it's to something that is natural for every Anchor dev. So if you are trying to migrate, it's just natural. You still feel like you're writing Anchor. But the first thing you are immediately welcomed with is this discriminator at the top here. So your instruction has a discriminator. Another one other thing that makes Anchor programs expensive is the fact that Anchor does under the hood, Anchor does a lot of this hashing for you. Each instruction here does a it has to get the full part of this initialized instruction, and it does a SHA-256 hash on top of this function call. So it would look something like I don't know, it would look something like the hashing what's my program? Hello world, hello world, then instruction, blah 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 blah, till you get to this initialize. Yeah. So the full part that you need to get to reach this initialize function as a string gets hashed, and that is the discriminator of this initialize instruction. So Anchor does that's why they say when you say Anchor uses 8 byte discriminator, that's when you are creating an account. It does 8 plus something something. That's basically what's going on that day. It's just hashing. Okay, let's get to that now. We get it later. Okay, so but Pinocchio does not want to do all of those heavy cryptographic thing for you. So he just wants you to just give me a discriminator, whatever it is. Give me a discriminator right away here. If you are creating another instruction, and put the next instruction, then put another discriminator from 0 to 1. Yeah, so you just tell me what's the index of this instruction. This is the first instruction, second instruction, and so it also helps when they're generating the IDL. We'll see what that looks like when we start testing. But yeah, it's straightforward and simple to use. Yeah. So what's happening here is we have this initialized instruction, and our context is still similar to Anchor, but now you see we don't have this context. Text. We don't have this context from Anchor. We have it's called the CTX now, right? Same thing, but it's doing something different on that day. Doing it in a more efficient way on that day. And we can see what's going on in a minute. Let me just yeah. Let's see what's going on that day. Terminal, terminal. Look this one up. And if you do cargo expand, should compile everything first, then expand it. Okay, so you see exactly what's going on at every point under this program proc macro. Yeah. So what's the expanding your code into? What's it doing under the hood? So for your instruction entry points, this is the first thing that you can see here. This I saw it right now. Yes, instruction 0. That's what we just did now. So it tries to see if the number of accounts are enough. If you are passing the number of accounts here from uh, instruction, initialize, the number of accounts that are passing here, it tries to check if the number is enough basically. Then it's trying to see what is trying to see that initialize. So it's calling the initialize function here. Put that direct initialize, the program ID, the account, getting the instruction data. So what is it doing here? Buffer coming initialize, initialize. Okay. I think it is uh I'm wrapping my trying to wrap my hand what's going on there. It's if I calm down and look at it, it should not be difficult actually. On the instruction zero, if the number of accounts are not enough, throw an error. But if the accounts throw an error, so if the account count is greater than eight, it's doing something under the root. Call it direct initialize, whatever that means. Else, just go to initializing the account. So it's trying to tell you that it's an efficient way to load accounts that are not initialized. Instead of creating empty zeros, instead of zeroing out the accounts and passing it in like an empty default account state, it's doing something efficient. Pinocchio also does this under the it's called a maybe it may be uninitialized. So it is maybe on init. Call mem maybe on init. So instead of outrightly saying I want instead of saying if you have let me use instance experience study. An account can be this. An account can be this 32 bytes, right? 32 bytes. So instead of having one, one, one or zero, zero, zero to fill up the whole 32 bytes, that will still take the size of a 32 bytes account, still take the size of a regular address, right? But now Pinocchio is saying, okay, Quasar is saying, I'm not creating all of the accounts. I'm telling you this account may be or may not be initialized. So just use it the way. Don't allocate size for it yet, allocate space for it yet. But use it may be uninitialized. When I want to write to the account, I will now do the initializing there. That's basically what you're doing there. So it's a neat trick. Uh, so where is it using the initialized? You can expand this yourself and, and go through all of it. Let's just get into what we want to do. A lot of neat tricks here. There was one I tweeted about maybe last week or something about the bit shifting thing that was going on for signer checks. Let me see if that's still there. Still there. Uh, 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 this is like 700 lines of code, only 500, give or take 500 when you see how many lines of code. Let's see. Uh, okay. What if stomach my French? Uh, uh, sorry, I'm getting myself now. He gets it this time. Top time the charm, right? Uh, okay, so let me copy this now and paste it here. See how many lines of code it is. So that's it. Yes, 716 lines of code for my instruction, for my hello world instruction. Well, yeah, let's see. It is what it is, man. Let's get started. So I'm not dissecting this. Let's just test out the instruction. So the reason why we have 200 lines of code is you have a lot of macros here, like three macros. I think. For this derive account is doing its stuff. Derive account is doing its own stuff for this initialize structure. Then what else? We have a state variable here. This account is also doing its stuff under the hood for this my account. If you check this, you will see it as well. And inside the libres, this program is also doing its own stuff. This instruction, this method is also doing its own stuff for this initialize. So there are a lot of macros, like I think that's like 4 or 5 macros now under the hood. And there's also this declare ID one, 5, 6 macros. So that's why we have like 700 lines of code. Okay, so let's start with the initialize function. What's going on here is just returning an OK. Okay, that's what it's returning an OK. So let's test this. Let's enter the test file and see what the test looks like. We should have a test here. Then yeah, this looks very well like light SVM, but it's Quasar SVM. We're creating a new instance of Quasar SVM that with programs you're injecting your own program into your SVM, right? So this is like your Solana instance, and you're deploying your program into Solana directly here. That's what you're doing there. And this is how you're loading the file of your of your program. Is in is viewed to be in targets, deploy, you get a pub key, your private key, and you get this lo.so as the ELF file. So let me what else? Let me build this Quasar build. Just like Anchor build, Quasar build. Uh, but yeah, I get. I have this sparkly thing. So it has. I think that's finished building. No errors. Yeah, just some tiny warnings. So now we should have an ELF file inside our we have an ELF file as our target. Deploy. Now we have lo.so, and this file is this is what will be deployed to your program account in this text editor. Yeah, so this is it's just bytes ELF file. So it's everything are bytes. Every if it was Anchor, you would see something. Yeah, so this is more efficient. This is way leaner than what an Anchor program would give you. Actually, it's very lean. I don't have to compare that now. But all if you had like string error codes, you would see them here. So this is entry point, text, dynamic string, remain dynamics, blah 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 blah. Alright, this is what we deployed. So let's now do the test. I think I can use cargo, JS cargo test of course I test. Anyways, I'll test. Let me see cargo test. I think alright. Cargo test. I'm just supposed that test. I'm supposed that test might fail. Who knows? And it's not failing. So where's the test? Test is here. So let's get into what's happening in the test. We are loading the account from the ELF file. We are creating a new instance and we're injecting that account. We are saying the public key of the program is this, and this is the bytes data for this program. Yes. So and we are calling the first instruction in our test. Initialize instruction. It's using a instruction path struct from Solana. So this one is just directly using the instruction. I think I see what's going on here. Previously for the previous client generation, the example we're not using this instruction. The example was using something from Quasar SVM. Was it Quasar client? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's from client something. But let's use this. This is way this is easier because that one was the headache. That was the one I was breaking that I wrote an article about. In, let me see if I can find that article. But I think they fixed that now. Article, articles. Let me see where I can get that article. Okay, this one. to article. I'll post it here. Okay, so this was that article. I broke Quasar genetic client in that. I think Leo took that part out. I think Leo took that part out. What that looks like was, yes, this was a make instruction. But let me get ahead of myself. Let me see if actually they took it out or it's still there. They took it out. Yeah, they took it out. They took it out. Yeah, good, good result. But I think they made a better way to do it. So using this Quasar SQL client, generating clients for you, right? And the client will have a structure of whatever instruction you are working with. Then it now automatically gives you, well, don't worry, that's not what we're talking about here. Let's continue what we're talking about. Uh, okay, it's actually nicer this way though. Just use the same instruction from Solana client and just build the instruction. And program ID, you're already writing the add part, so still continue doing it. Uh, Program ID is the ID of the instruction or the ID of the program. Then the accounts that are needed for this program as account meta. If you go to initialize, we have just payer and system program. Yeah, meta tests. We have payer. So account meta is automatically if you use new on account meta, right? You are getting a, a writable account, not a read only account. This is a read only account. So there are different helper functions on that one. There's a new there's new read only. I think there are three. Implementation of account data. There's new read only. Oh, so it's two, not three. Okay, I thought it was three. So there are just two now. New and new read only. So as new is writable, and you see if it's a signer. Yeah. So new here tells us that it's pub key is signer boolean. So if this account is a signer, you flag it here as true the signer. And for the system program not a signer, but it's not writable, it's just a read only account here. So new read only. And the data for this account, we don't have any data. We're not taking any data for the account here. Think, okay, okay. I got a tweet. Uh, okay, Tamil new read only. And all the data, we are not passing any data to the account right now. So the platform I'm streaming from, that's why I was trying to set things up manually is switched. Let me get this switched. It's the beta version now. So I'm streaming with tokens. I just buy their tokens and stream with the tokens. Yeah, switch tokens. So I'm paying for what I'm using. So I'm not like paying, and this is me right now. Quasar Quarry day one. So once the platform is live, if you want to try it out, you can just reach out to me and I'll connect you to the founder. Uh, so yeah, I'm paying for only what I'm using. It's not like I'm paying for monthly subscription. That's good. There are still some things that should be improved. That's why it took some minutes to set up completely. Yeah, so that's back to the video. And now we're not passing any data for this instruction, so I just send the instruction. But this one is a helper function for initialize. So when I call initialize instruction with the address that is the payer, the address of moment. Yes, in the initialize instruction, we are accepting the two accounts now, the account of the payer and the account of the system program, the address basically. So I'm passing those two addresses here, and I'm going to get an instruction struct back. So I just have to do svm dot process instruction, and this one is way more convenient than light SVM because with light SVM I still have to build the instruction. I build it, I send a message, I build a message, even though you don't need to build a message, but you build a message and you broadcast that message. But this one is more convenient. Yeah. Oh, I see. I was saying the process instruction. So this instruction here and the accounts for this instruction. The only account I'm passing here is Why am I passing just one account? Because, and this is the payer sign. I think is it automatically driving? Okay, yeah, it already knows what the system program is, so I don't need to pass the system program to it. So it automatically drives that for me. But there's a better way to do this though. Where is test? Instead of writing it out here, I could just create another account. Keep blah 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 blah. This one means I'm creating an account from scratch. There's nothing inside the account in the system account. So that means the owner is system program. It's not executable, it's just a regular account. And it's old 10 so 10 so so I'm creating an so at that moment that I needed the account, I'm creating the account right there. But I could do a regular keep new. I'll need to install Solana keep now do keep new then airdrop to it. I think I can do uh that's SVM. Okay. What is SVM? Let's see SVM dot airdrop. Yeah, I can airdrop. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that one next. No we're doing two things. But yeah, let me test the test run successfully and let me see the amount of CUs that were used. That was used. So print line test, print line results dot okay, yeah. Which one results? It should give me C consumed, right? Complete unit consumed what I'm looking for. Inside tests I can do complete unit consumed should be inside string do that do this do that yes and I should do and put it above this. Now say initial initialize finished with so computes that's how to know the amount of CUs that this instruction consumed. Let me just run this from here again. So, so it's finished with 52 CUs. That's very that's good. I'm reading and writing. I'm loading two accounts, and I'm using just 52 CUs. That's amazing. That's crazy. I don't want to compare what that looks like in Anchor, but that's crazy amount of work there. Yeah. So let's see. Let's make it more interesting. What should we work on first? Uh, uh, let's see. Let's write the vote. Or what do you guys want to let me check the chat? Okay, there's nothing in the chat yet. So we are good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Okay. And uh, for the 5 days, there'll be days where we bring in top guys in the ecosystem to come and jam along. Everybody's excited about Quasar. So most people that you see on Twitter that are posting about Quasar, they'll come and jam along here with us. So just stay. What's the word? I'm lost for words right now. You will know basically. You know where I'm bringing folks. And if you're interested to jump in the chat right now, just let me know in the chat and I will now bring you up. Uh, um, yeah, yeah. No, okay, so let's get started writing the books. I'm writing this from scratch. It's not like there's something somewhere that I've copied from, even though I should do that, but no, about doing that. Yeah, so what do we need to write a vote? It's just simple. For a vote, uh, I have an account. I have an account state that should tell me how much I've deposited into the vault. Yes. unsupported token. So let's do a soul vault first. So what amount, who's the owner of the vault, then probably the bump of the token, bump of, bump of the account. My mouth is just saying what is it? Amount, the owner, and the bump of the token. Why am I saying bump of the token? The bump of the account. Bro, I think those are the three things to make. What do you need to store? You just want to do a regular vault, yeah? A soul vault. Okay. Let's create a vault state. Inside state, I'm creating another account. We call it now. The same thing about account, but accounts discriminator does not start from zero with account. Discriminator start from one. So your next discriminator will be two here. Let's call this vault state. Vault happy. Okay. Let's make it owner. Let's do authority because there's already an owner. Yes, there's already an owner on an account. Authority address. Then what else? What else? What else? Wait, all right. Amount and bump. Amount. There's already an amount on token. So let's do value. Value. No, I'll keep that amount. It's not a token account, so it will be Lamports for yeah. Amount then bump. For bump is just a U8. Aha. This one, I don't make this one, but let's just leave it short. Mm, then inside the librs, I'll be an initialize, right? Inside the initialize, what I want to do now is just, I'm taking the pair as a signer. So let me put my lifetime now, info lifetime, and this one is immutable. Signers are mutable regularly, so let me see what is mutable. Info mute signer. Yeah, so the interesting thing about Quasar is uh, you don't do you don't put your lifetime inside your struct here. The lifetime is attached to the variable itself. Like this telling me an error. Here, consider mutable borrowing here. Is it at mute info? Okay, not at info mute. It should be at what Rust is messing with my mind. Come on, let me check this. I know it's here. I just did that. That's what I just did, bro. I'm not ready to now. Okay. So let's do accounts. Let's go on to the why is this shouting at me? Consider borrowing. Bro, this is limited already. Here is and transforming this. I'm coming to you in a minute. Yeah, we'll do for what's the word again? That's box state. So I'm opening my PE bank to be immutable info account and subtype box state. Import box state. Yeah. So this is you can see that it's closer to Anchor, right? It's, like I said, it's closer to Anchor. And this one is an account that needs to be created. I'm sure I'm writing rubbish, but let's get started first. In it, then seed. Seed is seed beneficial. But let's do. I want my account to be one of the six payer. I don't have to do payer dot as ref, just do payer. And I'll do vaults, vault states. Yeah, and I'll do because I'm creating the account. Bump. Is that all? Is that all? Yes, the problem I was having with this seat, I would reach out to the team. This is always doing issues until I come, excuse me, until I come to Quasar and use 00 version 00. I think there's something wrong with this, the one deployed on GitHub. I'll just use uh, 0.0. So that seems to work for me most of the time. to initialize blah 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 blah. So hold on, I'm coming for you. So now I need to put for for okay, that's good. So why is he shouting at me? No, you can't shout at me no more. What's going on? Okay, okay. Now since I stop shouting at me. Why is system program shouting at me? System program. I think it's now called system. Just system. I think yes. I think it's just system. The vault state mute reference. I'm already doing it. So I actually put in it. I can't say okay. Just mute. It's so mutable. I hope that solves it. So why is this one still yelling at me? Expected program system found program unknown. Uh, let me see, system program. Yeah, don't worry, we can get that from the docs. After we have the docs here, always have the docs. Migrating from Alpha, thank you very much. Info, okay, I should put an info, lifetime info there also. I think that's what the problem is. And all our worries are done, hopefully. Yes, all our troubles are done. Let's see what's the next step. Then system program, vault state, here. I now want to create an account. Yeah, okay, let me do this. What I will do is just uh, okay. Just I need to get a mutable reference itself first. So mutable reference itself. Then I will do self dot bot state dot set inner. So another interesting thing, if you are coming from Anchor, you need to put in the old struct of your vault. You need to put in the old struct. For now, just pass it as a function. The macro is doing the work for you. Right. So setting with the authority of this vault, I want the player to be the authority here. This self that account self dot player. So so the player is the authority here. Amount is zero for now. Zero is 64. Then the bump will be because I'm deriving bump here. I can use what's the word? Bumps could be initialized bumps. So I can use initialized bump if you want, yeah. Initialized bumps. So I can just do bumps dot bulk states. Yep, that's all. Self dot pair dot address, and that should be a reference, and that should not be a reference. Repeated address from okay, I need to be reference that's the reference. Yes, and we're good to go. It's setting this state. But now I have a problem in Liberec because I need to put in the bumps here. So I'll just do ctx dot bumps. Aha. So now we have our initialize instruction set up. What are we doing there? We're just taking the pair, writing the ball state, and we're creating the box. Okay, so in our test, I need to put this side by side. Uh, Now we need an account that is called vault state. Muhahaha. How do you do that? Let's see. Mm, let me do this one slightly different. Let me check how this will this will increase it. Let me just place close this guy up. Mm, so I think I can get account creation from the. You know what? Let me just check examples. Let me wrap my brain on that. It should be it should be on examples on the GitHub, not here. This should be the examples. Thank you for examples. Let's throw words, examples, then check test. Why don't test here? Client. Okay. Test it inside the source. Test, thank you very much. And for yeah, pub key find program address, that is the one I wanted to use. So pub key is from Quasar is there. Okay. So that is the one I want to use. Uh, just steal all of this. Thank you. Now come here to my account. Okay, yeah. Instruction, initialize instruction. So let me that's the payer pub key. Okay, okay, no problem. So yeah, I'm saying this is the top key, just find program address. Then we said the payer, then bot state. So this is called payer, and this is bot state. But people like putting the seed before, so it's not my problem. That is not my problem actually. Bot state, that's the problem. I don't know if it's just general convention. Put your string before your variables. Anyhow, you know. But if you put your variable before your string here, and you put your string before your variable here, you get different, entirely different results. Right? Let me show you that in a minute. Uh, Rust playground. Actually, I think I have something here already. And that should be yes. If I run this, this one is I have defaults. Yeah, just defaults. Let me do vaults. What's the name again? Vault states. Yeah, vault states. Run vault states. You should see 118 to 101. Yeah, but if I did this, and it will work. Then let's do another. The hello, hello to you too. Let's try this. It should break. Yes, it broke. The yellow expected an array with size of 11 found one with size of 5. Uh, uh, that so that let's see how that works. The 11 found on the cells. Okay, okay, okay. It must be the same length because it needs to be able to prove for let's do it. HELLO underscore brother 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Bro, I think this should work. Yes, I will now have a to work like this. Dot collect. I mean, let's see dot collect. Collect dot collect. The following three is gonna satisfy the creator, which is blah 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 blah. It's not an iterator. Okay, 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 okay. Let's pretend this is working. This should work actually. But it's putting it in two-dimensional array, no problem. So we now have 119, 118, blah blah blah. But if I put this one before it, you should see that we have a different thing entirely. So those two are not the same. the order of your accounts matter, the order of your seats matter. Now I have a 104 before we get to the 116 here. So that's where what I was trying to point out, which was definitely totally unnecessary. Thank you for paying attention. Okay, let's get back to this. So we have the vault account now. We want to pass the account. Let me just hide this one. I prefer to just airdrop it instead of doing. Let me just airdrop now. SVM dot airdrop to what am I dropping to? Airdrop to payer, yeah. Airdrop to payer and airdrop 700. This one 10,000. Let me copy this. Rough airdrop this. Just test my life out. So if I drop payer, now I can just pass payer an address. Can I do payer dot uh, I can get an account let me see, account from what's from account. How do I convert an account from an account? Let me see. I don't want to put in the whole account thing there. It looks ugly. Let me see what the example looks like. Uh, if you put, you also put the account. This thing is ugly. Data, owner, Lamport, okay, okay. Let's just go with it. Because something to write every time. I was looking for a better way to just get an account from an address. Uh, Z, 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 Z. So now I have some. Okay, let me comment this one out first. And let's get back to the second account we're passing is this one. First account as instruction. So for here, then the vault state. The vault state is now address is vault. Address is vault. Lamp cost is 0 because the account is not created. Nothing inside of it. Data should be nothing inside of it. Then the owner will be our program. The owner will be our crate ID. That's basically executable true as a writable account. So I have two accounts here. Then I need to pass that account also here. Third account will be same thing. It's not read only. Same thing goes here. Place the account here. Let's call the uh bot. Or states an address. So this will be bot state. And it's right to true. Okay. So that instruction bot state. Okay. Address from that means account two should work. Bot dot device. I think that works. I think that works. I think that works. Okay. So let's see. If we're not shooting ourselves in the foot. Where's our build? Uh, where's our not where's our okay, no errors. That looks good. And let's test our initialize. Throw me an error. Throw me an error. Throw me an error. Yes, failed. Why did it fail? One field, one is not. Missing required signature for instruction. Missing required signature for instruction. Which signature am I missing? Missing required signature. Which signer? Oh, there should be a signer when I'm sending the instruction. There is a signer. So let's see. Let's be on the process instruction. Uh, docs. There should be a docs signer. Okay, not docs signer. Let me see. We're doing instruction. Instruction. Oh, I was supposed to wrap this into signer. I was supposed to wrap the first guy into a signer. Where is signer coming from? Signer is coming from. Uh, okay, okay. SVM without token create key system accounts. Let's see. So I don't put the signer here. This guy is signer, so I'll wrap here the first user is a signer. I think that's even better than this one is better. This one is better than doing this. This one is not. So I can do signer here. So I work. Yeah, that. Let's test again. Uh, test again. Run this test. I should fail again as expected. Okay, so why is it failing now? Missing required signature. I just gave you the signature here. Here, public unique. Comment. I'm sure that it's okay. An empty account. An empty account. With this is an empty account. I need. And that's not the problem. Pub key from one. Uh, just withdraw deposits. Let's go into extraction. Okay. See. Yes, this is the helper function I'm talking about. Should be a way to do that instead of having this all the things up and down. Let's see. Empty box. Asset results okay. Yeah. So this is probably where the problems come from. Signer user empty vault. Let me do vault as empty. So what's empty? Oh. My bad. I think I know what the problem is now. I specified that this PDA is not a system program, whereas it is actually not a system program. But let's see. Empty, yeah. So you should be empty. That's fine now. The owner will be the owner. They're saying here that the owner is correct box. Saying the owner is the program. It's not the program. The owner is system program. Let's see if that solves the problem. Address yeah from let's read everything again. Payer is an address from payer.byte. Boss is an address of boss.byte. System program 3. Then program ID account is this one. Boss is a system program. Yes. So okay, let me test now. It should look good now. And it should fail again. Yes, fail again. Yeah. Why is it failing this time? Missing required signature. in the class. Let me even check what I'm writing. Yeah, we are saying AI designer. I don't know if account first. Let me go with account first. I'm saying AI designer, and we're saying vault state is mutable for someone to create the account. Then we're doing this, and that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's now see the instruction and the libars that might follow. Okay, so let me do it one more time. Let me do it one more time. Quasar build. So let's now press again. I've not changed anything, so it should still fail. Yes, it should still fail. Right, now. It should be the same thing. Otherwise, we got missing required signature. Am I missing any signature? I don't think I am. But it's saying I am, so I probably am. Let's see. I have a vault. I have the program ID. Payer first before the vault. Okay. Instruction. I have the payer first. Uh-huh. Now let me see. This might probably be coming from this guy. Initialize instruction. Payer is no payer. He's not a signer. What? This is not a signer. That's the problem. This guy should not be a signer. Yeah, that was the exact problem that we had. I was specifying that vault state for the signer. Otherwise, asking me to provide the signer keys for it, but it's not a signer.